Hello and thank you for watching. This is STSC back again with LEGO Transformers Mini Movie Optimus Prime. Now for most people, all of my Transformers are miniature, but I decided to try and go even smaller this time. And as you can see, I've tried to render Movie Optimus in a pretty tiny little 2-wide scale. Of course, it's not perfect. You can see some pretty obvious hands just hanging off the back here, and his head is kind of just out there for you to see. But, well, there has to be some sacrifices when working at such a small scale. But generally, I still think this is pretty successful as far as tiny primes go. For a size comparison, here we have a minifigure, so you can see that Prime is indeed very, very small. And here we have my full-sized Optimus, who completely dwarfs him. There's not really much else to say. He's the typical Optimus Prime Peterbilt, but really, really tiny. So, let's get to transformation. And here we have Mini Optimus in his robot mode. I based his transformation off of the Revenge of the Fallen Legends class, which is the same transformation scheme Rollout actually uses for his Prime. So he ends up with some wheels on his forearms here, even though he really shouldn't have them there. Though if you look at the legs, he does have the wheels here on his feet, though there's no red fenders to be seen. Unfortunately, this bracket just doesn't come in red that I know of, and even if it did, I don't think he'd look great with entirely red feet. Instead, the gray here is meant to represent kind of his gray little feet in robot mode. Then you can see he's got the blue on his legs, which is kind of meant to represent the knee pads, though it does make him look kind of like he has chicken legs. One of the biggest issues I ran into when designing this guy was the chest. I think it's really important to Movie Prime's look that his windshield splits apart. It gives him those wider shoulders and a more muscular look. Unfortunately, I just couldn't have the windshield split at this scale, so he ends up with the very narrow windshield on his chest. I did try to make up for that by having the big blue chunks swing forward to form his broader shoulders, but it just doesn't really look how he's supposed to, unfortunately. For articulation, Optimus can swing his arms out on a hinge and bend the elbow forward 90 degrees. There's also the transformation joint here, which can be used as a butterfly joint. Then at the legs, he can kick forward and back. He does have an outward joint there, though it's mounted so high it makes his legs look super, super long, so I tend to keep it a little bit closer like that. Then there is a swivel at the knee, a bend here kind of at the ankle, and a pivot for the foot. For a size comparison, here we have Optimus with a minifigure, and with my full-sized Prime. And once again, Mini Prime is completely dwarfed. Ultimately, I think this was a pretty successful experiment with a smaller scale, though you'll have to wait a little to see why I tried this scale out in the first place. But that's all for now, so I'll see you next time.